There's a shift that I undertook in living my life after 60. And I hadn't seen it until about a month ago, and I started testing it to see if it would be of value. And this video is about sharing that insight with you, because I think having done a little bit deeper research, I realized that often with those who are after 60, one of the issues that we face is, oh, hang on a minute, I just lost my professional connection, my career identity. What am I going to do? What does that mean for me? And it sometimes leads to a decline, which is unfortunate because it's really about a time of growth. And I sort of put two and two together about a month ago because I almost fell into it again. And what it was I was attempting to figure out, okay, what's a process I could share with you, a framework, a model that might help you in living the legacy that you intend to leave. And I came up with this, see it on the screen now, Aging, Curation, Mentoring, Legacy, Legacent. And so I was progressing through it, attempting to create resources and find support material that would go with it. Haven't really gained the traction that I was looking for. And then I realized about a month ago, even though I was doing some work around this idea that I'm going to share with you, I hadn't really fully embraced it. And what I'm talking about is the habit of it. Thinking through it from a very deeper consciousness point of view. Paying more attention to what's going on around me, really, and heighten my awareness and my application of this. When I found that, I said, let me test it first. Let me see if it makes sense. And if it does, is there a pattern here? If there is, can I figure out how to frame it up so I can support those of you who are watching, my subscribers, thank you, and others who might find my channel? And I went, yes, I have. It's the habit of thinking about being it before you are fully it, not from an imposter syndrome or anything like that, but to start taking up the qualities, the personabilities of it. And what I'm talking about is Legacent. I believe it's a key to unfolding the possibilities of this legacy after 60, to live the legacy that you intend to leave, to fill in that identity challenge that you're having, if you are having it. And so by looking at this, I went, okay, if I was to look at thinking and feeling what it means to be a Legacent before I fully am, then I'm developing an awareness, a consciousness, and an idea of what growth could be like because of the characteristics, the qualities that are outlined for becoming, serving, thriving as a Legacent. And that's where I believe I can be of the greatest assistance to you to fill in that identity questions that might pop up for you and give you something to work with as a, not the sense of saying, hey, here's your next career, but here is a way in which to live your life with fun, freedom, and fulfillment in being for the world with the planet from the whole. And I went, that makes sense. And that's why I, a month ago, started practicing more of it. I've been writing about it, but I can't necessarily say I was fully in it because I've been exploring it, attempting to figure it out, start creating the language around it. And when I came to understand that E-N-T added to legacy, Legacent, is about being legacy. And that's what a Legacent's about, being legacy. Oh, all right. Now, the habit of taking that up and bringing that into my life, I believe, is what's going to make the greatest difference. So the characteristics, or if you will, what might be some of the action outcomes that a Legacent exhibits, whatever language you might want to use to say, oh, okay, so in becoming a Legacent, what does it mean to serve and thrive? What does that look like? Well, I'm going to start putting a little bit more of that out, and also share some stories around Legacent as I'm seeing it unfold. And with tracking my life story, which I've done, I'm also going to start chatting with some others who, they may not call themselves Legacent right now, but I can see where they have those qualities, those characteristics, those consequences of living their legacy in full bloom. And then working with that to assist you in terms of saying, oh, okay, here's some ideas that I can work with, and take it from there. But if I was to start off, there's a couple I would certainly bring. One is a true awareness of the holistic aspect of living life. Realize that everything's connected, and when you ripple something out because you've dropped it into the pond and you're rippling it out, whatever you might share has impact going out. It's holistic. And there's the sense of life and mind and matter that's all connected. And take a look at that. And if you are still going, explore it. Explore the holistic view of what a life is about and see where that takes you. The other thing is that it's reciprocal. There is this give and take. I appreciate that language. But from a legacy point of view, I think it's more about the gift, the gifting. Gift from the heart, give from the head. And explore what that might look like. What does that feel like for you? Give it an opportunity to take it out for a walk. Put it into movement, this gifting, the ing of it, the movement, and see what happens for you. The other thing is that conversations are really important in being a Legacent. And the conversations are about conservation in the broadest sense. So the conserving of ideas, not only from an ecology, environment point of view, yes, but also from traditions and culture and ideas that you would want to share. And how might we look at aging through a different lens rather than decline as growth? I mentioned that earlier. And with those kind of conversations about conservation, then what you're able to do is say, okay, this is where I can reciprocate. This is where I can find that holistic. If I can find that holistic, reciprocal way of doing it, then in my conversations about conservation, I think you can see where I'm going, is that you can move back and forth through that and have that fun, freedom, and fulfillment pop up for you. So I wanted to just share the sense that there is a way in which to deal with that identity. I'm not going to call it a crisis. It's just, I have a loss of my identity. Okay. I lost maybe my professionalism when in fact you really haven't. It's a time to go, let's reframe it. Let's reimagine it. Let's revamp it and see what we can come up with. Yeah, I like that. Now, if there's anything here that you would like to comment on, you can certainly drop those down below. That way we can learn together. And if there are questions that you have, then drop them down below as well. I would certainly encourage you to go to the homepage, wealthmovement.com. There is a little diagnostic that gives you a sense of where you are along the continuum that you see on the screen here now. But also there is a little prompt book there that might help you to figure out, oh, here's some ideas that can get me going and thinking about things. But really give some time to, Legacent. What has he got to offer? There's a prompt, there's a website link down below about Legacent magazines, lots of articles there. And as time goes by, you'll see more about Legacent. And our comments and interacting with one another is going to really help. So with that, I will wish you always and in all ways, take care.